Welcome back to Connect with Christina. And today's guest is, well, now he's my friend, Pedro Hernandez with Hernandez Insurance Group. Did I say that right?
Yeah, the Hernandez Insurance Group.
The Hernandez. I'm just kidding. Well, thank you for being here, making time.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to warn you guys that opposite of RBF is RSF, resting smiling face. And he has a beautiful smiling face and he can't stop, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that just recently, I did like a mob swipe event with my lovely ladies. It's like a group of friends I've had for years, decades. And we were like taking photos and they kept saying like, hey, don't smile. Like it doesn't fit the vibe of being, whatever. And I didn't realize how hard it is to like try to not smile.
To not smile.
Have you ever tried that? It's hard.
Yeah, I have like, they do like challenges on like who can not laugh, I guess you could say.
We should do a game out of that. And also, welcome to being part of our BNI Integrity. We're happy that you are now part of that family.
Yeah.
So. Yeah,
I'm excited to be in the BNI. It's actually really, it opens your eyes to like a lot of different industries and what people can accomplish. So that's what I like to.
Explain your company a little bit more, what you cover, and then we'll go into my questions.
So again, my company is the Hernandez Insurance Group. So it's a franchise from Allstate. So I opened up my office 2 years ago when I was 25, and I was named the youngest Allstate insurance agency owner in the whole of Arizona. So pretty much I just do everything, right?
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you. So I pretty much, it's a one-stop shop. So I do home insurance, auto insurance, business, life insurance, anything you can kind of think of. We're able to do it in-house. So
obviously we're surrounded by a bunch of other insurance companies and all that. So what makes you guys different specifically? Why should people consider working with you?
Well, one thing I guess that kind of sets me apart is the experience I have under my belt. I worked through agencies, local agencies, and then I've also worked in the corporate side of things with Allstate, so I know the ins and outs of my own insurance company, right? But the other thing that kind of sets me apart, you're going to have a personal agent to kind of take care of you, whereas if you're calling like a 1-800 number, you don't know if someone has been working there for like a week.
That's so true. Right? You don't think about that.
Yeah. So
don't call the 800 number, guys.
Yeah, they just, they're going to follow a script. Whereas if you call me, I kind of know everything and I'll give you the best advice. Whereas, if you're calling the 1-800 Allstate number, they're pretty much having to do things with the way the company wants them to do things, if that makes sense.
Well, it's just more personal, right? And you obviously, we talked about this recently where it's like what people need will vary based on who they are, like their family size, the things they're trying to protect. So and you're going to guide them for that.
Yeah.
Because we don't all need the same thing, but what we do need is that peace of mind to have the protection. Because none of us really know how insurance works. I mean, you do because you've worked in it. We just, I don't know about you, Justin, but like I didn't really know about insurance until obviously I'm in personal injury and how it all works. It's like, okay, I have to have insurance, and a lot of people walk around with or drive around rather with, what is it? Just minimum state policies?
Yeah, so it's going to be the state minimum, which is, I don't recommend you carrying that. But I think the biggest misconception with a lot of people is they state like, I have full coverage, right? And they don't really understand what full coverage means, until you start breaking down their policy. They're like, oh, I didn't know I didn't have that,
And it's sad when it's an injury situation, like a car accident, and your heart just bleeds because now you have a single mom or single dad or whatever situation, and it's like maybe it's a hit and run, and then they don't have certain things, and like their entire world is upside down. Yeah. How are they going to show up to work?
Exactly. Yeah. So you deal with that on a day-to-day basis.
Which is why I appreciate people like you who take the time and not see people just as a number. It's like you are this person and you have a family and to protect, right? I learned that insurance is like it's not just like for other people, it's for you too to protect yourself. And I like to say that it's something that you wish to never have to use, but it better be there when you need it.
Yeah,
right?
and I agree with that. Yeah, so pretty much you obviously don't want to be calling your insurance company, right? And I tell my clients that all the time, I like having our conversations, but hopefully you don't have to call me back with with the bad news that you got in an accident. But which is why we try and set them up the right way the first time. So when they do call us, with the bad news, we're able to at least give them some good news.
Right. And we want to be sensitive and respectful to obviously the fact that, hey guys, like it's hard, right? Because it's also budget.
Yeah.
And so you try to explain everything, but at the end of the day, it's what people can afford. And all we can do is really try to educate them on, hey, like it's worth saving a couple, coffees like a week because this is true peace of mind. But at the end of the day, like you can't fault people if that's all they can afford.
Yeah. No, yeah. And I get clients like that all the time, right? And I think the biggest thing that most my clients appreciate is if I'm not able to help them personally, I'm able to point them in the right direction with someone that can help them out with the coverages they need or with the budget that they're trying to fit.
Oh, that's a good point. So I like that because you explained that to me where for whatever reason, maybe it's driving record, your initial or your main carrier couldn't accept it. And so they had to deny it. But then it's not like you just hung, like, bye. You're like, okay.
Hang them out to dry.
Right. It's like, okay, I can't help you, but, and then you told me the name of the other recommendation you made.
So we're able to quote with another company that Allstate pretty much took over, which is called National General. So don't confuse it with the General.
Yeah. Different company.
Yeah. So we're able to tailor to some clients that way. But I think a big part of who I am is, I like to partner up with other agents. So, if I'm not able to help them out personally, I'm able to reach out to a friend and be like, hey, have so-and-so with this situation, is this something you can help them out? And, most likely they're able to help them out. And, people remember that, right? So they'll come back or refer someone over to you.
Well, and it just feels good to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But I love to learn new things, facts, funny things, like just every day. And when you were here on Monday, someone in our group said that, first of all, they thought that was the General, but it's not.
Yeah.
And then that we had to fact check this. Justin, you do your work. But that the General was at some point owned by Shaq. I didn't know that. Is that true? Can we fact check that? Did you find it? Was it really? Huh?
Not owned by Shaq.
But was it ever? Okay, we need to dig into this. Can you ask who purchased the General? The General was purchased by Century, and then Allstate has another department which is National General.
Yeah.
Got it. So I love, and I don't be mad at me when I say this, but insurance can be boring.
Yeah.
But it's so important. And so I want to take advantage of the fact that I'm sitting in front of someone who knows it. But first of all, the declaration page of insurance, that is basically a statement, right? That shows all the coverages.
Yeah, all your coverages and your premium pretty much.
So I want to know if you can share the basic stuff on the coverages that people have, and then we can talk about the 4 that we know people need, but sometimes they can't afford it, but they should try to have it.
Obviously, right, if you're on the road, you're going to want to have the state requirements, which is bodily injury and property damage coverage. So bodily injury is to cover the other people in case you're at fault.
Keyword, the other people.
Yeah, so it's not to cover you, but it's to cover the other people in case you cause an accident and they're injured. State minimum in Arizona right now is $25,000 per person.
It used to be
$15,000 per person, but now it's $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. And then property damage, that's to cover be other people's property. So if you crashed into their car, or if you crashed into a light post, a building, anything that has to do with property, that's what that coverage is for.
But it just covers their stuff.
Yeah,
So who covers your stuff?
Yeah, so in this case, like if you want your stuff covered or you want your medical expenses covered, that's pretty much the other options you add to your policy. And this is kind of where it gets tricky, where people say like, I have full coverage, but they're really just meaning their vehicle and not their medical expenses.
Mm-hmm.
The next one that I usually kind of move down from after going over the state requirements is the uninsured and underinsured coverage.
So important.
Yeah, so that's going to be to cover you in case someone crashes into you and they have no insurance. So like a hit and run, or if maybe they don't have enough insurance to cover your medical expenses. You know, in this case, you know, you have these big semi trucks or these new bigger F-250s, you know, these vehicles, if they ram into your Toyota Camry, right, they're going to cause a lot of damage. So you want to make sure you're protected. And then you also want to have something called medical payments coverage. Super important. And I think Christina reviews that quite a bit.
Yeah, you need it. I'm sorry, I'm hyper, but especially today, but it's because I care about you guys. And yeah, go on. You better have it. Justin, do you have it?
Nope.
Oh, Lord. Okay, continue.
So it's not that much more to add it to your policy, but it's I like to call it the no fault coverage, because it's going to cover you regardless if you're at fault or if another party is involved or not. You know, it's going to cover your medical expenses as well as your passengers. The example I like to give is, you know, maybe you're driving one night and you fall asleep on the wheel.
Don't do that.
Right, and you swerve and crash into a tree. You can't really fault the tree or sue the tree, right? So in that case, if you're injured, you can use that medical payments coverage to cover you, or if you have any passengers in your car as well.
And we recommend, or I recommend it with experience, or just from experience, 5,000, right, is the better option.
That's pretty much my starting point when going over the policies with my clients.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, right, now this is pretty much where people tend to say the full coverage part.
Mm-hmm.
And this is just to cover your vehicles, right, in case of an at-fault accident, whether it's due to a crash, vandalism, theft, you know, if you hit an animal on the road, right? So these are collision and comprehensive side of things, but you are subject to your deductible. And for people who don't know what a deductible is, it's pretty much what you have to pay. Yeah, what you have to pay out of pocket before the insurance company pays to fix your vehicle. So the example would be, let's say you crashed your car, right, and you filed a claim, and they took it to the mechanic shop, and they're like, hey, you know, it's going to cost $5,000 to repair, and if your deductible is $500, then you would pay $500 out of pocket, and then the insurance company would pay the remaining, which would be the $4,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then moving down from that, then you do have the other optional coverages, which is rental car coverage, which is super important. So I like to review that if you don't have a spare vehicle to use, you know, because obviously it's going to take time for someone to fix your vehicle. And if you don't have a vehicle, you know, how are you going to get to work or, you know, pick up your kids from daycare or school? So you guys have to think about that. So that's important coverage to carry as well. And then any type of roadside assistance coverage is a big one.
To put it all together, and why I care about that so much is I deal with that obviously with Call Christina now. And you take it's just annoying. Car accidents are annoying. They're annoying. But I do say, hey, it's frustrating, it's challenging, it's annoying. And for sure, it's more than just physical pain. It's everything else. But at least you're talking to me. You're alive. Because obviously there's circumstances where we are not talking to the person in the accident. We're talking to the people they survived. Like, they didn't make it. So, you know, I when I deal with people that are so just frantic and stressed out, I do like to remind them of that, but also walk the walk with them until they, you know, start to get to a situation where they feel like, okay, my life will go back to what it was. But think about being hit. You're just driving. You're doing nothing. Brand new car. Maybe you don't even have a license plate yet. And you're doing nothing except just minding your own business and driving. And then you get rear-ended, right?
Yeah.
And then you said either A, they take off. So that's a hit and run. But if you don't have the UM, whatever, those things, or MedPay, and it just affects you because the reality of it is if they leave, then it's on you if you don't have those policies. But if you have those policies, then you can get the help, right?
Yeah, I think it's super stressful, right, at that moment because obviously you're hurt, right? So that's a big stress on you. And then now your vehicle, is non-functional. So that's another big thing. And, it kind of takes the toll and
it's like a domino effect, right?
Exactly,
And on the other side, we're the fixers. Like we want to be there to help you through that. But I'm trying to make it make sense for them to understand all that stuff is important. It's okay. So that first scenario, they took off. That's a hit and run.
Yeah.
But then if maybe they stay, they're nice people, but they could only afford the bare minimum, which was the state policy requirement or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the damage to your car exceeds that, then that's still an issue, correct?
Yeah, so I think it's important to at least see your options, right? Because it might not be as expensive as someone
you think.
may think, right? Especially if you're shopping around, you may find a rate that's going to benefit you. But in the long run, it's like you said, insurance isn't there for you to use it. But it's
you don't
there.
want to have to use that, but it better be there.
Yeah.
And I think like empowering them to know, like you're also not. It's not like I make a joke about this. Like maybe your barber and your salon, like you could probably want to be loyal and keep them forever.
Yeah.
Unless you have a guy like this, and you want to stay with you forever. But if you're not really getting that type of service, go shop around. Try to save yourself and see where you could save money. But going back to that, the first party rental though, is they don't know until they're in it.
Exactly.
Then you're like, wait, I can get a rental car? No, you can't until the other person accepts liability. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if you have first party rental, you can get a car. And I know because our clients, they've been able to get a car same day.
Yeah.
But the ones without that, it's like weeks and months. And it's, who can afford to just keep Ubering? And, riding a Lyft to work. I mean, it's expensive.
Yeah, it does get expensive.
And then the MedPay, I love that because you called it, what is it? No fault?
No fault coverage.
So, what? Accidents happen to even the best drivers, right? So an accident is that. It's not intentional.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just happens and at least that can be there on top of all that other stuff to help you. I feel like it's the best, how do you say that? Best buck?
Best bang for your buck.
There you go. These are the moments when I'm a foreigner. Say it again.
Best bang for your buck.
Mm-hmm.
But that's funny that you mentioned that because one of the biggest things that clients tell me is like, hey, I'm a good driver. I don't need that. But, you may be a good driver, but other people are not as good as you.
Yeah. So. And so to wrap that up, if you don't have those extra things, I mean, you probably have a better way of explaining it. But for me, if you don't have the UIM, the MedPay, and the first party rental, I mean, it really puts you in a bind.
Yeah.
And we don't want to see that. So call Pedro, educate yourself, and see, you might be surprised to get all that and you're driving on the road with peace of mind for yourself, your loved one. Because it's sad for us when we have situations where we can't help them because there just isn't insurance, So I will have you tell them how to get a hold of you and all that in the later part. But are you a native here?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Asking because that's rare.
Yeah, born and raised Arizona.
So what part?
I was born in Scottsdale, so I was in Scottsdale for up until like 3rd grade. And then I moved down to Mesa, and I've been in Mesa ever since.
I love Mesa.
Yeah.
It's like a large city. I'm just curious, like I've been asking a lot of people that come on here to take me back to their childhood. What do you remember from it?
I think I'm in that weird age where it's like a lot of my youth, I didn't have that technology, but a lot of stuff was rolling out.
Can I ask what year you were born?
Yeah, 98.
Oh, that's why. So you're only 20, almost 7 or 27?
Yeah.
That's why. So that's true. You're like in the cusp of
Yeah.
like going all the way digital. You guys are a special breed. My Leilani is
Yeah.
26.
So a lot of obviously in the childhood,
in-
right, you don't have a lot of tech stuff, and you're playing with a lot of outside, playing with toys and stuff like that, right? Playing soccer and outside with your neighbors and stuff like that, kicking the can.
Kicking a can. Cool.
Yeah.
Did you do that? When were you born? You were still kicking a can back then?
Yeah.
And then got a soccer ball.
Wait till it's
I've just been lately so interested in like trying to go back in time to see what like people remember of their time. Because for me, I had a pager, and then like 143 is I love you, or 14344 is I love you very much. And then now obviously like technology has advanced, and obviously it has a lot of good things. Justin's heard me say a lot where it's like I'm saying, yeah, there's a lot of positive things from the DMs.
Yeah, the phones now, they give you data on how much time you spend on your cellular device, and sometimes you don't even want to look at.
Yeah,
it.
you're just like, oh.
yours.
Well, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Hold up. Let's go. I don't know how to look that up. Put me on blast.
Yours is probably more all business related. The week.
That's scary. Don't scroll.
That's your daily average for the week.
That's crazy. 9 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'm in
9 hours.
my messages for 9 hours, and you get mad that you haven't heard from me. I'm trying my best. Whatever we talked about on the insurance stuff, you better go get that. And I try to push it so hard, but I know, again, we're respectful of people's budgets, but just call this guy and see like what it might be for you, how much a month. Maybe you skip out like a couple drinks of coffee a week, but at least you will never have to worry about yourself or your family. Because those are the 4 things. And Justin will make a big thing about it here. UIM, MedPay, 5,000, and first party rental.
Yep.
So I'm hijacking your podcast. So back to you, Mr. Pedro. Do you have anyone in your life that you feel like really impacted you, inspired you? It can be blood related or friends, mentors.
Yeah, so there's actually a group of people that have supported me a lot. I want to start off with my wife, obviously.
Yeah,
who's
you
been
want
with
good
me.
dinner tonight. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So, obviously she's believed in me from the start, right?
How long have you been together?
We've been together since I was 19.
Who made the first move?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Love it. Okay.
Yeah, so we've been together for a long time, and obviously she's seen me kind of grow up to what I am now, right? I've always kind of told her what I wanted to be, an entrepreneur, right? A business owner. So she's always believed in me on whatever I wanted to do. So that was a big thing for me, at least, having someone that supports you. And then my parents for showing me what it takes to work hard. So they're immigrants, so they came here, looking for a better life, which has showed me, if you work hard, you can accomplish a lot of things.
Yeah, you are an example of that.
Yeah, so, shout out to them for always showing me that, you could do things if you believe it and work hard towards it. You can accomplish whatever you set your mind to. And then another big one is my mother-in-law. So I know.
Wow, the suegra, that's rare.
So
You're blessed.
Yeah, so she's an amazing person. She's an entrepreneur herself, so she showed me a lot on what's possible. Again, also being an immigrant, right, showing you what hard work can do for someone. So she's a big inspiration for me. And then obviously my mentor, who's kind of helped me in the insurance side of things. So he's kind of molded me to how I do things now. So, like I said, there's a lot of people who've helped me in different ways. And I think if you take the best out of everything, it kind of helps you shape you who you are. And, I'm blessed to be surrounded with people who love me.
Wait, how much time do we have? We don't have any?
We passed our time.
Last question is just like, what do you want out of life as far as like, what's your legacy?
Well, for me, the biggest thing that inspired me, at least, is I want to be able to take care of my family. So, and I think it's a big idea for a lot of people, right? They want to be able to retire their parents. They want to be able to take care of their family as well. I have a kid now, so that's another big thing that's kind of pushing me to really max out who I can become.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always said, it's kind of weird, but even as a kid, I've always just said, like, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a millionaire. And slowly but surely, you're reaching those milestones, and you're like, hey, like, if I could do this, like, I could do so much more, right? So, that's pretty much my biggest thing. I just don't want my family to worry.
I love that. Yeah. And I think we all want the same thing. It's like to provide for our families. And the nice thing is we often talk about that. It's not even about the money. What you do with the money, right?
Yeah.
Is like to help other people. Obviously take care of your family too. But I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I want you guys to call my friend Pedro over here. Just review your policy, see if you have what you need. Maybe you have something you don't need and you're missing the things you actually need. Maybe you can save some money. Who knows? But just call him and remind him how to get a hold of you.
So you guys can give my office a call at 480-883-8798. Go ahead and ask to speak with an agent. And you guys can ask for me, or one of my lovely reps can help you out. And you can follow me on Instagram at Pedro_Hernandez __ as well.
And we'll share it here. I've never done this before, but I'll let you do it first. Invite people to our BNI and why they should come.
So if you own a small business or an entrepreneur, we'd love to have you at our BNI group. It's a tight-knit community of other entrepreneurs like myself and Christina, and big players in the entrepreneur side of things. So if you're interested, go ahead and send us a message, and we're happy to point you at the right direction.
Yeah, you'll love it. And it's Tuesdays at Mission Coffee, Gilbert, right? Every
at
Tuesday.
8:30. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We want to see you there. So until next time, bye. Adios.